I'm here with Cody from Ballers on a Budget. Make sure you're showing him and his channel some love. I brought him on because I wanted his opinion, whether it was biased, whether it was unbiased. He's wearing the shirt, or
I can't promise you nothing.
A Cleveland shirt right now. I wanted to talk about Nick Chubb. Obviously, he's a top running back in the league. What I want to know is, if you're looking at it from his perspective, what is his best move for his career?
The best move for that's a loaded question, really.
What do you think his best move is?
I'm obviously gonna stay with the Browns. You're already insanely loved in the Browns. It doesn't matter if you rush for 1 yard that game. You've built such a reputation with the fans and the team that no one's gonna care about that 1 yard game. That 1 yard game.
We're also talking about Browns fans who will burn a jersey on site if you don't perform well.
Which Nick Chubb is earned enough love and trust from us that he can have. He's the only one right now that's even allowed to have bad games. Even Myles Garrett, if he has a bad game, everyone's tearing him apart. Okay? So I would say his best move, and I'm trying to be unbiased as possible, would be to stay with the Browns. I get it. You go to another team, you're going to get more carries. You may lead the league for a couple years. You've already been right there on the Browns team. But now we have a Deshaun Watson, and it is kind of looking like we're going to start shying toward more being a passing team than a run-first team like we should have been for the past 4 years.
And with Watson, you always have that fear of him just tucking the ball anyways and taking off.
So there's you're getting your runs from the run and pass from the quarterback. Obviously, that running back's going to have to take a step back and not be the main primary focal point. Is that a good thing or bad thing for Nick Chubb? We don't know. There's been games to where defenses were so keyed on Nick Chubb, they let Browns do whatever the hell else they wanted because Nick Chubb was that main threat. So now that we got other threats, maybe Nick Chubb, defenses will stop stacking the box. Nick Chubb can go back into his true form. But then also there's an argument that we're turning into a passing team.
You're just going to phase him out.
Yeah. And I don't want to see that for him.
And that's where this whole question for me came up. Like, as Nick Chubb, not a Browns organization, not a Browns fan, not a Steelers fan, as Nick Chubb, I think your best move is to get out. Yes, you've been close, but as the seasons have wound down, you've been number one, and you've slowly ticked down spots. Yeah. Whether that's coaching or just harder games or performances, regardless, you could have been first.
Yeah.
But you weren't. So you go and now with the addition, like you said, of Deshaun Watson, you're going to bring in receivers. Whether or not you keep Kareem Hunt,
we can't.
I mean, it's
it'd be so hard to keep Kareem Hunt, but.
And as somebody who just loves the sport, you can tell he loves it. He doesn't badmouth anybody. He's not making headlines over crazy stuff, which is why I love him. And I'm not even a Browns fan. I just like those type of people.
Humbled.
He puts in his work, and then he goes home. And that's it. That's what you love. But as him, does he want to be Cleveland great? Or does he want to be, I'm here for football. I want to be, and maybe not Tom Brady great, because I don't know if there'll ever be another one of them. But do you want to be, a top 20 running back in talked abouts? You know what I mean? Like, do you want to be talked about throughout the league and not just Cleveland?
Yeah,
You could go somewhere, and I'm not exactly sure where yet. Maybe that was the toughest part for me, because I have not figured out where. If there's a lot of things that have to happen for him to actually leave, but if he did, I think he would do just as well.
Yeah.
You mentioned in a video already, and they're not letting Derrick Henry go, but that's not a crazy substitution.
No, not at all.
Because of who you're switching him with.
If Tennessee lost Derrick Henry and then gained Nick Chubb, they would be sad about it for one day. And then we're right back to work.
Or I mentioned it, Tampa Bay. They don't have the greatest run game. They know what to do with it. But if he went down there, can you imagine that?
Imagine Tom Brady having Nick Chubb
the Ravens.
The Ravens would be a crazy one. The Rams would be a good one. Like there's a lot of spots where a running back like him could fill in, even if he's splitting a role in today's dynamics like we do a lot.
And he would just go nuts. But I've always had that question in the back of my mind. You know, what... He's so... Yes, he is well-loved, and he pretty much is the face of Cleveland.
Right now, yes.
But as him, like, you got to be thinking in the back of your mind, like, what can I do? Like, because his body can only do so much on the field for Cleveland.
And then any workhorse in general, the main thing is, once you get to 30, it's downhill from there for a workhorse running back. And that's what he is. He's a workhorse running back. He should be out there first, second, and third down. I think it's ultimately up to him. I'm struggle just trying to put myself in the shoes and then give myself that option. If I was rich, if I had talent, it just becomes a roast session on myself. And then I was in his position. You already got a ton of money, so I don't know what that's like, having a ton of money, but could always go and chase more.
See, I don't think with somebody like him, I don't think it's about money.
Exactly. That's why I'm trying to. It's for the love of the game. Because me, as of right now, you ask me that question, I'm like, deuces, Cleveland. I'm following the biggest paycheck. But that's coming from a budget guy. He's got all the money he wants and needs, I'm sure, if he's smart about it. So it's ultimately going to come down to him and his morals. Does he feel like he wants to... He's already mentioned he wants to turn Cleveland around. He wants to be the one to get them into the playoffs and keep pushing and everything. Does he really want to do that? Is he sick of it and saying it's impossible?
I've had enough. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or is it really as simple as, let's go get a bigger payday? Let's go become valuable elsewhere.
I think for him it's that simple. But... like you said, it comes down to, you said morals. I don't think morals is the right word.
Yeah, probably not. But
you know, how long is he going to be okay with? Obviously, you know, the Browns have gotten in the playoffs one time since 2009.
It's not pretty over here.
And one time since Chubb has been there.
Yeah.
So how many more missed playoffs are you fine with just playing the regular season? And that's it? And possibly never getting a ring?
The problem with Browns is it wouldn't be bad if you went to the Browns and knew you were just going to suck. Because that's what we were for a while. But now, in the past 5 years or so, we've been on a cusp with a level of talent to where, like, okay, we can make waves in this league. And then the angering part is the fact that with the talent that we have, we go out there and don't make any waves.
You're good enough to keep people out, but you can't get in.
We're good. Yeah, we're good enough to be talked about, but ultimately we're not winning anything. We're not winning anything in the long run except for the rumor mill, I guess. But it's all going to depend on Nick Chubb, and he does seem like the type of guy that's going to just... You want to stay here?
Sure, why not? Yeah. Been here long enough, yeah.
Yeah, we'll ride it out, man. I want to see how far we can take this team. Or is it as simple as, like I said, like...
Somebody finally...
I just bought a new car. I need to make sure those payments stay up.
But, I mean, you did exactly what I didn't think you were going to do. I thought it was going to be a more biased, more...
I'm turning a new leaf, okay?
New year, new he.
New year, who he.
But just thanks for coming out. We probably didn't answer anybody's questions.
You can't handle the answers.
But if you have an opinion, let us know down in the comments of what you think he should do himself.
We aren't the first ones to have these questions anyway.
No. But it's always nice to get it from a Browns perspective. So I thought he was going to rant. He did a pretty good job.